My name is Nthomiwa, the head for Trade Remedies and Import-Export Control in Botswana Trade Commission. Today we'll be looking at trade remedies, but we'll start looking at international trade agreements. That international trade agreements, they give us rights and obligations. So as countries, we have rights and obligations under international trade agreements. We are obliged to open our market to goods coming from outside the country, from our trading partners. And we also have a right to protect our industry in case it is being affected by the amount of imports that are coming from our trading partners. Trade remedies are categorized into three. We have anti-dumping measures, we have safeguard measures, and countervailing measures. So with anti-dumping and countervailing measures, what happens is we look at the imports that are negatively affecting the local industry. There will be a sudden surge of imports that injures the local industry. And when the local industry makes an application to Botswana Trade Commission, we are then forced to investigate such measures, because we can only take action as Botswana Trade Commission after making a determination that the level of imports is in fact affecting the domestic industry. Dumping occurs when imports that originate from another country are actually charged at a lower price than the price that pertains to the same product in the country of origin. So that's when dumping occurs. Dumping is not necessarily what we informally consider it to be in Botswana. Like when we look at the case of used clothing or used vehicles, we normally just say they are being dumped into our market. So that is not the kind of dumping that we will be looking at. The other issue is subsidies. This is where imports or those that will be exports for our trading partners, when they have been subsidized by the foreign governments. Subsidies will be like a financial contribution being made to the industry, or a government foregoing its revenue, or a government giving a fund that is being managed by the private sector for the benefit of the private sector, therefore giving them an unfair advantage. As I've already said, the purpose of trade remedies is to protect the local industry. And in this case, the local industry, we are really looking at the SACU industry. This is the industry in all the 5 member states of the Southern African Customs Union. So they need that protection from a sudden surge in imports. This has to be done in accordance with the national legislation, and the investigation that has been carried out has to show that the effect that is being felt by the local industry is indeed as a result and caused by the sudden surge of imports from our trading partners. And when you look at anti-dumping, for instance, it is country-specific and it is company-specific. So the investigation, which I would say it normally takes a very long time, between 12 to 18 months, it takes a long time. There has to be a clear link between the negative effect on the local industry and the imports that are coming from our trading partner. When looking at injury to the SACU industry, this is after intensive investigation, which takes a long time, as I've indicated. The effect has to be linked to the sudden surge in imports, and it normally manifests in a decrease in sales for the domestic industry, decrease in profit, decrease in capacity utilization for the SACU industry, and decrease in employment. And in the worst case scenario, it would lead to closure of the domestic industry. Hence the importance of having to protect the domestic industry in case international trade has that negative effect on the domestic industry. So for dumping and countervailing, normally there's an additional tariff that is charged. This is the action that would be taken once a determination has been made, and this does not have to take our trading partner by surprise, because consultation has to be done, and even public consultation has to be done just to make sure that our trading partners are aware what is the concern for a SACU industry. So there will be an additional tariff. This will be an additional tariff on top of the common external tariff. So there's normally an anti-dumping tariff, additional countervailing tariff, and in the case of safeguards, there are two categories, because there are general safeguards and there are also special safeguards. So those are the actions that will be taken once a clear determination has been made. The implementation of trade remedies requires that a country, or in our case a customs union, must have regulations that are in a way similar to the WTO agreement. So national legislation really must be grounded on the WTO agreements for trade remedies. These are the three types of trade remedies referred to earlier: dumping, safeguards, and countervailing measures. These are serious issues that affect the economy of either a country or the economy of a customs union. This is why when you take such measures, they have to be done in a transparent manner, because it may lead to dispute between trading partners. The two partners may come together to engage on the issues, and if they cannot reach an agreement, they have no choice but to take the matter to the World Trade Organization, because under the World Trade Organization there's the WTO dispute settlement mechanism. This is a body that presides over disputes. They interpret international trade agreements, and they basically lays the law for international trade. For more information on trade remedies, please visit our website.